Hey there, this is the Love Dinosaur, and in today's installment I'd like to talk about adapting to change. Okay, so I was thinking about it. You know, the one constant in life is change. And I remember coming to that realization maybe in high school or early college days, and I wrote a poem which I put on my first album in 2001 called Change Remains, which is just saying that, you know, everything else will come and go, but the one constant is change. And, you know, I think a lot of us have trouble adapting to change in our lives, and that's fine. I guess that's part of the nature of humanity in this era. I'm reminded of a story. I think it's a Buddhist story. I don't remember where I first heard it, but when you look at the river, I think maybe it was in the story of Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. Siddhartha's finally, you know, the story of the Buddha. Siddhartha finally becomes a riverboat driver or oarsman, whatever you call him, and he finds his happiness after all his seeking. You know, first he's like an ascetic in the forest, and then he's like a rich man, and neither extreme is happy for him. He just wants to be an ordinary boatman that crosses the river, brings people to their destination over and over again, day after day. He finds his happiness there. It's the middle path. And he observes in this crossing day by day that the river is always different. Every single second, it's a different river. Never once is it the same river. You know, it's pretty fascinating because if you look at it, it looks like the same river, you know, from one day to the next probably. Maybe the tide is low or high, but generally it looks pretty similar. But it's never the same because all those water molecules are always moving. And there's never the same collection of water molecules moving in the same combination, you know, at the same time, ever, 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 ever. It's always a new combination. So, you know, we are also like the river. You know, the nature of a rock is to be still and to be sturdy and to possibly move with the elements, be worn down by rain, be pushed by wind if it's strong enough, or if the rock piece is small enough. But the nature of living things is movement. Okay, you might say a plant or a tree doesn't seem to be movement, but those roots deep in the earth are sucking up water and sending it up for growth, and those leaves are pulling in sunshine, you know, which makes things grow. So it's movement on a different scale. When the wind blows, you know, the leaves and the boughs and branches move too. So, and plants, you know, you can see them growing and blossoming and then dying. That's all movement as well. But us, animals, we need to move a lot more because we're much more like the river. In our bodies, coursing through our bodies is blood, these rivers of blood, all the time. When we're alive, we can't not have our bodies coursing with blood. So movement is very akin to being human. And of course, movement is very akin to change, right? It's, you know, this is movement. At one moment it was here, now it's here, now it's there. In order to change, things have to move in a sense. So, and in order to move, things certainly have to change. So as a human being, how do we deal with the change that's in our lives? How do we deal with unwanted change, unexpected change, right? There's an old aphorism which just pops into my mind. I can't help it. You know, there must be some truth to it, which is roll with the punches. Now, when we're rolling, right, if you ever took like karate class, martial arts or something, or gym, you know, you do like a roll, you know, your arms, sorry, I got this guitar lately in my hand, your arms, you know, cover yourself, and then you're moving. So there's a forward thrust as well as this like protective shell that we're creating through that movement. So rolling with the punches, it doesn't mean you're not going to get hit, but it means that you're headed towards a destination that will put you in a more advantageous position than if you just sat there and let the punches come to you. So, rolling with the punches is kind of a good way to say, or a good way to deal with adapting with change. But the only thing I don't like about that is that it sounds like the universe is out to get you, which I don't believe is the case at all. I do believe the universe is here to support you, and it's up to you if you want to believe that or not. And if you do believe it, the universe will support you in proving that, yes, the universe is on your side. And if you choose not to believe it, guess what? The universe will support you in that too and say, hey, you don't want to believe that the universe is here to support you? We're going to help you believe that it's not. So either way, it's up to you. The choice is yours to see if it's a benign universe or a malignant universe. But certainly taking the benign view is a lot more encouraging to live life every day. And since the universe is a reflection of our own inner state, when we choose to see things as benign within ourselves, by knowing ourselves, by self-reflection, chanting, praying, meditating, whatever it is we might be doing, going in, for a certain period of time every day, and really trusting ourselves and coming to, find this deep self-love. When we approach ourselves with self-love, what we see reflected before us is a universe that shows us self-love, that shows us love. Love for itself, which we're part of. So the universe loves itself. We're part of the universe. We're included in that love. So adapting to change is much, much easier when you have a benign view of the universe. And whether or not you logically think the universe is benign or not, you can choose, do an experiment to see if the universe is benign. Just say, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to believe that it's benign. I'm going to choose to see it that way. And I am sure you'll be surprised at the results. So how do we deal with unwanted change? Again, if you trust that the universe is benign, that essentially anything that is happening for your evolution, for the best result of what you're here to experience in this lifetime, for your highest fulfillment. It might seem totally the opposite, but there are many times there are things I didn't get, and upon reflecting back later on, I'm saying, I'm so glad I did not get what I wanted there, because it would have led me down a path that who knows if I would have been prepared to handle it. When my father died when I was 6, I didn't want that. But upon looking back, I realized how much compassion I gained from that, and how much responsibility, perhaps. And certainly it brought me a lot closer to my mother and my brother, and family and valuing people. When I broke up with my girlfriend in high school, or college, my first girlfriend, that was really sad. I didn't want to do it, but I essentially did want to do it because I did. And, it involved a lot of suffering for a while, but in retrospect, I'm so glad that I had that experience, which brought me to the next, and to the next, and to where I am today. And now I'm a father with a son, and I'm very happy with the family I have. And I couldn't have gotten to this point without those trials. And that was all change that I had to adapt to. Remember, all in the space of a week, I broke up with my first girlfriend, my heavy metal band of 5 years, something like that, broke up, which I was very attached to. I had long hair, I cut my hair, and I started jamming with some new guys. So it was like whoosh, the change happened in one huge fell swoop. You can't ignore it. If you saw me in October and you saw me in December, you'd be like, what the heck happened to you? You know? But I was changing, I was growing. It was difficult, but it was definitely good. And it definitely helped me along my evolution. And then I evolved beyond that, and again and again and over and over again. That's how it works. I adapted. Adapting to change doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to suffer. Doesn't necessarily mean it won't be pain, that it, you can avoid the pain or something like that. But just as this pleasurable thing that you had in your life, which is now gone perhaps, just like that pleasurable thing went away, the pain will certainly go away too. So the main thing is never to attach ourselves to the pleasure or to the pain. Just to keep on rolling with the punches, or as Matt Kahn, the intuitive spiritual teacher, says, just move forward. I love it. I mean, I must have heard it before, but when he said it in a video recently, he said, yes, just move forward, no matter what happens. Someone slanders you, someone praises you, you fell down and scraped your hand, you got an F on your paper, you got an A on your paper. Doesn't matter. Just move forward. And as a practicing Buddhist, we're always, I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and I'm always focused on now and the future. And even though the future essentially never comes, right? The future is always what I envision it to be now, because I only live in the now, and so do you. It's never about the past. And the past has its place, and I'll make another video speaking about that. But it's always now, and the future and the past are created from now. So just move forward, just keep rolling with the punches. Change is going to come. Welcome change will come, and unwelcome change will come. And it's all designed to evolve us to that next stage in our evolution. Now, I look at some of the things I wanted in my life. I was a aspiring, rock star, and I played in so many bands and experienced different degrees of success. Everything's relative. I even traveled to California twice, recorded in a multi-million-dollar studio with some, a significant producer, and did a small tour of the East Coast, and experienced people learning the songs I was writing, and this has all fed my ego, and, I got a taste of the rock star dream, which was enough for me. And then I said, enough is enough, and we broke up, and then my final band broke up. I'd been in several bands up to that point, and then I started a new path, and simplified. I really wanted to get simple and really natural. And I look at myself now, and I look at myself 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago, and all along I loved that person that I was. But I can see that the person I am today is the person that I want to be. And more I'm stepping in to be that person that I truly want to be. So that means all that evolution, all those trials and tribulations and sort of failed dreams and whatever was just, it was just the process of polishing the diamond within me. That's all I was doing the whole time, was polishing that rough diamond that was coated with grit, just polishing it so that pure diamond underneath was going to shine. And I still have a lot of polishing to do, and I'll be doing it until I die. And we all do. But we all are a diamond. We all are a gem that has some grit coating on it that, we're here to polish. Because it's just fun. It's just fun to polish the diamond and see it shine. And sometimes it hurts, and sometimes you don't want to do it. But it never fails to produce an awe-inspiring view of creation when you see your diamond, your inner gem shining more and more. And that's change. It can only happen through change. We're here to evolve. We're here to change. adapting to change is the only choice. If we stay still, change is still going to happen, but it's going to be forced upon us. So when we roll with the punches, we're saying, all right, change, let's do this. Let's dance. Let's dig. Let's spar. Let's do a Brazilian, what's that, fight dancing? I forget what it's called right now. Yeah, so adapting to change is the way forward. It's not easy for me. Probably isn't easy for you, unless you got some great secrets that I can't wait to hear about. So until the next video, please just enjoy the process. When change comes, welcome it. Say, hey, we've been waiting for you. Come on in, let's have some coffee. Or if the change is that you're going to drink less coffee or something, come on in, let's have a cup of tea or a cup of water. And let's get down to this adapting business. And when you're in the process and you're doing it and you are adapting and you see yourself making these changes, you're like, wait, that's what I got to do? Just adapt? Not so bad. I can do that. I can get used to learning how to adapt. And you build that muscle. And you get better at it. And then you say, wow. Wow. Until next time, let your day be filled with wow. When you're thinking out of luck, remember everything's in flux. Get your feet out of the cement.